let me ask you something. If Georgia was sitting here today with 18 commits and 12 3-stars, what would our what would the Georgia fan base feel like?
They would be beside themselves.
They'd lose their damn minds.
Yeah, they'd be beside themselves.
I mean, Kirby hasn't had 12 3-stars since he arrived in Athens.
But again, I think it's a situation where you've just got to kind of feel it out. I think that we're going to see how this ends up really playing out. I think once, like I said, once the shutdown is over and kids are able to get back on the trail, because suddenly you got new kids visiting, suddenly you got your commits visiting elsewhere, You know, it's going to be tough, I think, to keep that class together.
We were looking at recruitment rankings. You know, Pruitt had a top 10 class last year, but he was 7th, but he was 5th in the SEC. You know, that's a big thing. That's what Rick did when he was there. He was always finishing the top 10 classes, but he was 5th or 6th. And SEC was 700. Tennessee was 700 points behind Georgia. So I mean, that's a big difference.
As long as Kirby Smart's in charge, I don't know that they're going to take that big a dip in recruiting.
Is there any chance we see Keely Ringo get some looks on offense? His running back tape is impressive. Trent, what do you think?
I don't think so. I mean, his running back, it was impressive, but I don't see him on offense side of the ball. I see him solely on defense. I think you don't see many Kirby guys switch back and forth to offense defense. You've had a couple guys, but it's been permanent moves.
Don't rent a Lamborghini when you need a bulldozer. So I can't see that happening. That kid's too special to put over on that side of the ball.
I think the short answer is that you always worry about your kickers and your punters, regardless of the situation. But you know, I think a piece of it with the field goal kicking, if the offense makes the strides that it needs to, the hope is that maybe the field goal kicking doesn't quite matter as much because you're not kicking as many field goals. It didn't seem like LSU needed their kicker that much last season. And that's obviously what you aspire to be, is an offense that no one can stop.
And I'll tell you this, if I'm a field goal kicker, I'm scared shitless to miss a kick with Scott Cochran being my positional coach.
Just see, I mean, kid misses a kick or shanks a punt or fumbles a punt reception, you know, muffs a punt. And he's like, come to the sideline. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Meet me in the medical tent.
If you want to play and you are stuck at home and you know that the other guys are out working because they put out a couple videos. So if you know Nolan Smith is out there, you know the Kobe Dean's out working, you know that Trayvon Walker's out there working, and you want one of those jobs, better get your ass out there and do it.
If you're one of those guys and you're coming back in here with Scott Sinclair, and now you got Scott Cochran, who knows a thing or two about strength and conditioning, and you show
and neither
back
one's
up,
as scary as Kirby.
And you show back up a little pudgy. It's going to be a tough run up to the season for you, I believe.
I do like how the UGA nutrition account just tweets all the food that the players are eating, and it's all like protein and greens. And I'm like, you know, there's some Swedish fish in there somewhere. They're just not sending you, right?